Former James Bond star Sean Connery was one of the biggest sex symbols of his time, and this fact led to the renowned actor having numerous romantic affairs. Although he only married twice, he certainly got around. While many of these affairs were kept a secret while they were occurring, they've since been exposed to the public. Join Factsverse as Sean Connery's affairs finally come to light. Sean Connery was born August 25, 1930, in Edinburgh, Scotland. He was initially a small child, but began going through rapid growth spurts starting at age 12. At the age of 14, he began his womanizing ways. As legend has it, the future star lost his virginity to a female ATS officer. By the time he was 18, he had reached his adult height of 6'2" and had developed his signature good looks. Sean joined the Royal Scots Navy at age 16, though he was discharged at age 19 after suffering from a duodenal ulcer. After being discharged, he performed menial jobs before eventually becoming an artist's model. Once realizing there was money to be made from his good looks, he became interested in bodybuilding. As a bodybuilder, Sean became a winner of the Mr. Universe contest. Some sources claim he won the contest in 1950, others claim he won in 1953. Either way, the results were the same. Sean gradually became disinterested in bodybuilding as people became more interested in muscle mass and less interested in athletic abilities. He then switched over to playing football for a time before eventually deciding he wanted to become an actor. Although he later became known as a film star, he started out acting on stage. His first role was in a production of South Pacific. In 1957, he was given his first credited role on screen in the film No Road Back, but he didn't get his big break until several years later, playing James Bond in the 1962 film Dr. No. That role made Sean a star overnight, and he went on to star in 6 more films as the character. After his 7th James Bond film, Sean decided to give up the character, but he continued acting in films for many more decades and maintained ubiquitous celebrity status until his death in 2020. Like the character of James Bond, Sean Connery was a successful womanizer during his day. Although he was only married twice, he had numerous affairs. Some of these were with actresses who played Bond girls, such as Lana Turner. Some of them occurred while Sean was married to other women, while plenty others occurred in between or before his 2 marriages. Many of the women Sean found himself engaged in romantic affairs with during his lifetime were actresses he was working with on the set of his films. One such actress was Jill St. John, who appeared alongside Sean in the 1971 Bond film Diamonds Are Forever. Jill played the role of Tiffany Case and became the first American Bond girl in the franchise. Sean dated Jill while he was separated from his first wife, although the two were technically still married. Sean also dated another Bond girl from Diamonds Are Forever, actress Lana Wood. Lana was the sister of Natalie Wood and played the character of Plenty O'Toole in the film. Lana later said the two were trying to keep their romance a secret from the filmmakers, which became difficult when it came time to film their love scenes. Not all of the actresses Sean Connery dated were Bond girls. Sean was said to have dated actress Carol Mallory after a mutual friend who was a Hollywood producer introduced them. Sean was married at the time, and Carol later expressed she wasn't too happy about the fact that she had to sneak around every time the two met up. However, that isn't the only thing Carol later expressed dissatisfaction with when it came to their affair. According to Carol, Sean didn't have much respect for women. This shouldn't come as a surprise to those who are familiar with the late Scottish actor's supposed views regarding domestic violence. Not only that, Carol has said that the James Bond star was disappointing in bed. For these reasons and more, the affair between the two came to an end. Still, Sean had plenty more actresses at his disposal, such as Magda Konopka. The Polish model and actress is another woman who Sean is said to have had an affair with. Sean and Magda apparently spent a few nights together in Porto Redondo. Every once in a while, Sean would become involved with a woman who wasn't an actress. One such woman was Julie Hamilton, who was the daughter of notable documentary filmmaker and feminist figure Jill Craigie. Sean and Julie were said to have lived together for a year before he married his first wife. It was actually Sean's attraction to the woman that was to become his first wife that was the reason Sean and Julie ended their live-in relationship. Actress Diane Cilento became Sean's first wife in 1962, and they were married for over a decade. She was best known for her role in the film Tom Jones, which garnered her an Academy Award nomination. The two separated in 1971, but their divorce wasn't finalized until 1973. Many years after their divorce, Diane came forward with accusations that Sean had been incredibly abusive towards her during their marriage. These accusations were put forward in her 2006 autobiography. These accusations sparked renewed interest in questionable comments Sean had made in the past regarding his views on domestic violence. Sean had apparently said on numerous occasions he thought it was okay to hit women, just not the same as you would a man. If Diane's tales are any indication, this is truly how Sean felt. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Sean Connery and Diane Cilento had a son during their marriage, named Jason. Jason Connery is still alive, having survived his father after his 2020 death. After divorcing from Diane, Sean married a painter named Micheline Roquebrune. The two married in 1975 and remained married until Sean's death. However, Sean was said to have had many extramarital affairs. The most notable was with pop singer Lindsay DePaul. The two met in 1989 at a party both Sean and his wife were attending. Apparently, Lindsay was sitting next to Micheline on a sofa when Sean slipped her his number. The affair was said to have lasted for a few months, but ended abruptly after Sean simply decided to never call Lindsay back one day. Many years later, Lindsay expressed regret for being involved with Sean after his views on domestic violence were called into question. The affair made headlines, but the attention didn't seem to harm Sean's marriage. Before his death, Sean publicly expressed he no longer believed it was right for a man to hit a woman. However, this reversal had arguably come far too late in the game for many of his detractors. Sean had made many public remarks expressing the opposite sentiment to numerous media outlets during his life, and only seemed to change his mind once fans started critiquing him. Sean officially retired from acting in 2006 after the failure of 2003's The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The actor had famously been offered the role of Gandalf in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy, but turned it down. The failure of The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen humiliated him, and the actor had finally had enough after over half a century in the industry. He spent his remaining years alongside his wife in the Bahamas. He was said to have died peacefully in his sleep October 31, 2020, though he had apparently been suffering from dementia for several years. At the time of his death, he was 90 years old. The official cause of death was a combination of pneumonia and heart failure. After Sean passed away, his ashes were cremated and scattered around Scotland. Now it's time to hear from you. Comment down below to share if you think there's been another James Bond that has compared to Sean. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.